Hey everybody, so I'm going to step into it just a little bit on the whole Roe v. Wade thing. I'm not going to tell anybody what's right or wrong here, but I'm going to point out something about the way people are behaving, and that's this. Everybody is resorting to emotional reasoning, not logical reasoning, emotional, and that's not a good thing. Whenever we get reactive and emotional, the cognitive centers of our brain shut down, and your IQ can actually drop by up to 40 points. So it doesn't matter whether or not you support this decision to overturn it or whether you oppose the decision to overturn it. If you're behaving emotionally, your IQ has dropped tremendously, and that's not a good look. And I don't care what side of the issue you're on. Truly, I don't care what side of the issue you're on, because I'm on neither one of those sides. And what is emotional reasoning? Emotional reasoning is when you let your feelings get the best of you. And one of the funniest phenomenon I see is typically conservatives love to say something like, facts don't care about your feelings and feelings aren't facts. But then they turn around and they say something like, hooray, we're no longer murdering babies. Well, that's an emotional statement, right? But it tends to appeal to your subjective morals, and you're blind to it. But then you're very quick to point out when somebody says this is an assault on women everywhere. People are real quick to say, oh, well, facts aren't feelings and feelings aren't facts, right? Well, it's present on both sides, and we tend to be blind to it whenever it validates our own emotions. And that's generally the state that everybody is in. Everybody is making emotional statements because the one thing that you don't see anybody talking about, nobody's read the actual Supreme Court decision, right? Unless you're a legal scholar or a legal student or scholar, right? Everybody's just talking about it with their own hot takes and their own feelings on the issue. And it's okay to come from a place of feelings when you're having a conversation or a discussion. But then most people, for some reason, want to bring it up as in a debate format. And in a debate format, you really have to know what you're talking about, literally. And if you have not read the Supreme Court decision, then you literally don't know what you're talking about. You're just literally going to battle to protect your own feelings, and that's not good. And there's a lot of people are doing that right now, and we shouldn't. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's not a good look for any side. If you haven't read the Supreme Court decision, I highly recommend it. I've already done a video on it about a month ago. You don't have to scroll down very far in my feed. Not a lot of people watched it because, quite frankly, it's full of content that people don't really care about. But in it, I go into more detail about the decision. Now, what can you do about your own emotional reasoning? Well, start actually learning about the topic. There's a lot of people who want to cling to their own truth and say, oh, well, I know all that I need to know. Well, no, you don't. We're talking about a Supreme Court decision. We're not talking about your religion. We're not talking about your political viewpoints. We're not talking about your gender. We're not talking about your own personal history with abortion or not. We're talking about a Supreme Court decision. This is a legal process. Yes? And what we're going to see over the next few years, and it's already happening, is overturning Roe versus Wade did not ban abortion. I don't care who you are. It did not ban abortion. Your state might have banned abortion, but you might also be in a state where they did not. Those are state laws. It doesn't ban anything. It undoes a Supreme Court decision. And those are two different things. And these things matter, right? As tempting as it is to speak subjectively and emotionally about this, we're not actually going to get anywhere. You're not actually going to, you're not going to get any satisfaction from any emotional conversation about the issue. What's going to happen, and is already happening, is there's going to be a series of challenges to state laws. There's going to be people that file lawsuits against the state, and these are going to have to circumnavigate the judicial system, and eventually there will be one that makes it up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's going to rule on it, and then there will be another series of lawsuits that will make it to the Supreme Court. This is going to be a perpetual, never-ending cycle. And once you understand that, you can conserve your energy an awful lot. And you can protect your own personal happiness that way. If you understand what it is that's actually happening and where we are and where it's going to go, you can relax a little bit. Because you know, and then you know what you're talking about. Right, and that's really important in my mind. So that's just where this thing is going. We don't have to like it. I certainly don't like it. You know, my view, because I'm kind of on the spectrum a little bit. I'm kind of ADHD. I've kind of got a touch of autism sprinkles. I'm not up to the level of clinical diagnosis, but I'm certainly there. I'm what's known as ASPE, which is all of the features of Asperger's, but not to the degree to call it a syndrome. The way I see it, and the way people ought to see this, is that abortion is a completely preventable thing. I mean, look at the thing. Let me draw this parallel here, okay? Something completely unrelated to abortion. Let's talk dentistry for a minute, okay? Let's say, for example, the whole issue here is that a person should have the right to have a tooth pulled, okay? Well, under what circumstances? Well, it shouldn't matter. A person should have the right to have a tooth pulled, period, right? Well, what about in the case of tooth decay? Well, is tooth decay preventable? Well, sure. If you take preventative measures, you know, brush your teeth regularly, use proper toothpaste, fluoride treatments, regular trips to the dentist, it's totally preventable. But can all of that prevent tooth decay? Not really. You can do all those things and you can still end up with tooth decay. And at which point, and a tooth extraction would be a medically necessary procedure. Okay? We don't involve the government in that particular area. Because if we did, we would have to have stupid ass conversations about tooth decay. Am I making sense? Are you seeing the parallel I'm drawing here? Okay? Obviously, pregnancy and babies and abortion is not tooth decay. But I'm drawing the comparison here because I want you to really think about, why is this even a political topic? It shouldn't be, because it isn't, right? So, rationally, yeah, we should overturn Roe versus Wade and every other law involving abortion, period, and purify our legal system of anything and everything having to do with abortion and turn it back over to the medical community where it belongs. It shouldn't even exist as a political topic, okay? Because the law is great for some things and terrible for other things, and there are enormous contradictions in the law. For example, homicide. If you kill a pregnant woman, you can actually be charged with a double homicide because the baby, if she was pregnant, you killed the baby too, right? But you can't claim an unborn child on your taxes. The child has to be born before you can claim it, even though there's plenty of prenatal medical care and expenses that come along with it. None of that matter on your taxes. So there's that. It's just a territory that the government really, really sucks at to begin with. We know the government sucks at a lot of things, and yet we still expect them to protect certain rights as if they matter. No. The ultimate solution is to amend the Constitution. It is much easier than... Every time I say that, people say, oh, well, that's impossible. No, it's not. A bunch of evangelical housewives in the 20s managed to ban alcohol at a national level. Tell me how that happens. It's not because they were all a bunch of legal scholars, and it's not because they controlled all the wealth and the power in the country. It's not. Right? Prohibition started and ended all within a 15-year period, maybe 20 tops. Right? They managed to amend the Constitution twice. Once to get their way, and once to take it away. So, yeah, it's not difficult. It just means people are going to have to do some extra work that they don't want to have to do. But if you want to get it done right, it's going to take some work, and it's entirely possible. We've been doing it. We should just do it again. All right, that's really the ultimate answer here, but that's not going to happen. And if people don't want to do the work, then that's fine. The debate is going to continue on forever. But as long as people know and understand that, then don't be upset when that's what happens. Anyways, that's what I got. Do please like, comment, or share, and I'll see y'all on the next video.